Hey friends, do you feel like you're being overlooked or undervalued in life? Well, it's possible. I'm going to tell you how to get over that. The first thing I need you to do is I need you to determine what is your value. And I don't mean quantitative in terms of money, dollars and cents. I mean, what do you bring to the table? I need you to do a self assessment because we live in a society where I think inflation is at an all time high, not just in government affairs, but in who we think we are. What I mean by that is not in the context of having a good, healthy self esteem, but do you have a healthy self awareness? Have you truly done inventory to determine your value, to look at, okay, here are concrete things that I bring to the table. I'm gonna focus on career and life, but this also goes for relationships. What is your worth? What do you bring? Not that someone else doesn't bring. That's a little bit different. Of course, you want to identify your uniqueness, but what do you bring to the table that is of value? Get clear about those things. And when you get clear about those things and you want to compare in a relationship, then consider, okay, is this average? Does everyone automatically bring this? Or is that just the expected standard when you're dealing with high value relationships? Something to think about. The second thing I want you to do when you think about relationships, I want you to ask yourself, is that a need that that person has in their life? So you might be valuable in a particular area, but if it doesn't fit a need that they have in their life, there's nothing wrong with it. But there's something sexy about it if there is a lack or a void in their life and you bring that to the table. But you would know if all you do is talk about it versus doing the inventory and getting really clear about your uniqueness on the planet and what you can bring to a partner. Now let's move into business a little bit more. Which some of these things are going to overlap, so be aware of that and feel free to do what you need to do. Self-advocacy. You're going to have to start, as I talked about, identifying what it is you bring to the table, but then you're going to have to advocate for yourself. You're going to have to let people know who you are, what you bring to the table. By doing so, you then begin to make your name spoken. You're not waiting on somebody, hoping that they see you. You're sharing all the good that's been happening. You're taking notes. You're providing value that's concrete, that if one wanted to take a look and see, okay, is this actually true? You can say, yeah, here's an example of what that looks like. Here's an example of what that looks like. We often do it when we're looking for a job, right? We're looking at our resume, but you can do this self-advocacy on a day-to-day basis, on a week-to-week basis. And it's not the same thing as self-promotion as much as it's saying, hey, listen, based on who I am, I was able to, and then include team. Feel free to include others as a part of it because you didn't do it all by yourself necessarily. So, but never miss the opportunity to talk about what you're bringing to the table. Keep it at the forefront. And you never have to compare it to anyone else. As a matter of fact, the only time you really don't want to bring that up is when you're trying to compare or make yourself look better than someone else. That's when it's going too far. Other than that, yeah. So I was sitting and I noticed this happened. And so I took action. I did this and the other. Is that sufficient? Would you have done it differently? You catch that right there? You're putting it back in their compartment just to check in and see, as a student, did you get the instructor's approval? Now you have to understand, for some people who are ego driven, they're going to find something to nitpick and you can't take it personal. You can just be with it. Just be with it. But what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for success because you were clear, hey, this is what I've been up to. Advocate for yourself. And advocating for yourself, it also means being crystal clear about the things you don't do. You're going to have to be clear. That's not my strong suit. Who will be better equipped? I'm willing to participate. I'm willing to help, but leading is probably not what I should do in that arena. So here we are talking about vulnerability again. It's going to be necessary because if you are just saying yes to everything and it's not who you are, that is not self-advocating, and that's going to probably embarrass you in the long run. So prevent embarrassment by simply being vulnerable and being clear. That's going to save you a ton, but it's also going to have people contact you for the things that you're super good at. The second thing that I want you to do is think about the kind of information you create, right? When you think about being online, for example, if you want to continue to enhance who you are, it's going to be imperative not only that you self-advocate, but that you send feedback to other people. Get out there. This is going to increase your value. by offering your thoughts and your insights. And when you have a rebuttal, offer your rebuttal and offer why, and then ask a question to see if you get a response. Now, I'm not encouraging these long, crazy chats online or long emails at work. I'm just saying that when you're in a conversation with someone, be there and allow yourself and your value to exist. Don't muzzle yourself. I was the king of muzzle because I wanted more peace than I wanted conflict, which inherently there's nothing wrong with it. But if I sacrificed my truth, not the same as listening for a broader perspective, sacrificed my truth, held my tongue so other people felt good, then maybe there's something to be thought about here. Let's dive deeper on that for a second. Do you always think you should speak your truth? What if your truth is not actually true? See, that's where the fine line kicks in for me. I'm going to speak my truth if it's going to make a difference. If it's just my opinion and my truth, do I really need to share it? If all it's going to do is cause conflict? It's not about keeping peace. It's about, is the state, the situation, the context looking to move forward? If the answer is yes, your boy's chiming in right away. But if it's just for tension's sake and egos clashing, keep me out of it. I have no interest. So you got to find out how to self-advocate for yourself and when and where to offer feedback. But it's a part of you. And your insight is necessary in group conversations, so bring it. Last but not least, you're going to have to up your negotiation skills. You're going to have to learn how to talk to people because you're in the world with people. And if you want to no longer be undervalued or overlooked, your ability to talk is going to matter. I don't care what your communication skill set or level is right now. You got to up your game. And I don't mean necessarily your vocabulary, although it includes your vocabulary. I mean your emotional IQ. You're going to have to start thinking differently, processing, listening different, hearing what's being said, and not over talking so that when you speak, it lands. There's a great book out there, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I encourage you to go buy it. It's an old classic, but it's going to help you learn to hear better, listen better, and move from the mindset of, well, I think, because what you think won't matter if it's out of context. But if you learn to connect with people, if you learn to listen, and you learn to read people, you enhance your ability to increase your personal value on this planet, at work, in relationships, and you, my friend, will not be overlooked. Those 3 points, I hope they help you today. I'm your coach, Marquise Martin Hayes. Listen, join my free VIP group where we get into topics like these that help you be seen and heard on the planet so that you're visible. It's a free group. Click the link below. Meanwhile, please subscribe so you get notified when new things come. Comment below. I'm curious about what your thoughts are on things that can help you not be overlooked nor undervalued any longer. And I want you to share this with somebody you love.